The power of time and the power of the mind. Once upon a time, there lived a boy named Jimmy. He was young, curious, and full of potential, but dangerously lazy. They say time is the most powerful force in life. It can build you or it can destroy you. But here's the truth. Time never waits. And Jimmy was about to learn this lesson in a way he would never forget. Every morning, his mother would wake him up to help in the fields. But Jimmy stayed in bed, rolling over, whispering, "Tomorrow. I'll do it tomorrow." While his friends studied, worked, and built skills, Jimmy wasted his hours in sleep, wandering and meaningless talks. He believed life was long and opportunities would always return. But life doesn't work that way. Jimmy and the lamp. One evening, while wandering near the edge of the forest, Jimmy's eyes fell upon an old rusty lamp. It looked ordinary, but something about it shone under the fading sunlight. He picked it up, wiped off the dust, and out of habit rubbed it with his sleeve. To his shock, a gentle light burst out, and in front of him appeared not a genie, but a wise old man. His face was lined with age, but his eyes burned with wisdom. The man smiled softly and said, "Jimmy, I am not a genie. I am the spirit of time. I do not grant wishes. I only give lessons. And tonight you need one." Jimmy laughed nervously. "Lessons? I don't need lessons. I'm still young. I have plenty of time." The old man's smile faded. His voice grew heavy. "You think you have time? No, Jimmy, time has you. Every moment you waste, you lose a piece of your future. You may not feel it now, but one day regret will burn like fire." For the first time in his life, Jimmy felt a chill. Someone had finally shown him the mirror of truth. The spirit continued, "Do you know the difference between the successful and the broken? It's not talent. It's not luck. It's how they use their hours. Small habits, reading a page, practicing a skill, controlling emotions. They look tiny today, but tomorrow they decide your destiny." Jimmy tried to argue. "But I'm young. I can start later." The spirit's voice thundered. "Later is the most dangerous word in human history. Later kills dreams. Later buries potential. Later is the graveyard of greatness. You think you are safe, but you are gambling with your life." Suddenly, the spirit waved his hand, and Jimmy saw a vision, an older version of himself. He was sitting alone, shoulders heavy, eyes filled with tears, whispering the same words again and again. "I'm sorry. I wasted my time. I could have been more." Jimmy trembled. His chest tightened. For the first time, he saw the true cost of laziness. That moment broke him. He realized the most painful sentence a human can ever say is, "My whole life. I'm sorry." With tears streaming, Jimmy asked, "Spirit, tell me, how do I change? How do I control my mind?" The spirit placed a hand on his shoulder. His voice softened. "Wake up when the alarm rings. Choose study over distraction. Choose effort over excuses. Control what you eat, what you say, what you think. Because if you don't control your mind will control you." From that day, Jimmy began to change. It wasn't easy. Some days he failed, some days he fell, but he remembered the vision of his older, broken self, and that memory pushed him harder. Slowly, his laziness turned into discipline. His excuses turned into action. His wasted hours turned into seeds of success. Years passed. Jimmy grew wiser. People no longer called him the lazy boy. Instead, they called him the man who respected time. Jimmy in the mirror. But the story did not end there, because life has more than one lesson. One rainy afternoon, many years later, Jimmy was walking through the same forest where he had once found the lamp. He noticed something strange, an ancient mirror leaning against a tree, half covered in leaves. He picked it up, cleaned the dust, and looked into it. But what he saw was not his reflection. Instead, he saw his thoughts, his emotions, his fears, everything he usually hid inside his mind. Then, a familiar voice echoed, "Jimmy, you learned the power of time, but now it's time to learn the power of the mind." The spirit of time appeared once again. But this time his expression was even more serious. Time is precious, Jimmy. But without control of your mind, even time will slip away. You must learn the science of discipline, not just with hours, but with thoughts. Jimmy stared into the mirror. He saw himself procrastinating, eating without control, getting angry, scrolling endlessly, comparing himself to others. The mirror exposed it all. He lowered his head in shame. Spirit, how do I master this chaos inside me? The spirit replied, through habits. Habits are the software of the mind. Whatever you repeat, your brain wires into your future. If you repeat distraction, you become weak. If you repeat focus, you become unstoppable. The mind is a wild horse. If you don't train it, it will drag you to destruction. But if you master it, it will carry you to greatness. Jimmy realized time alone was not enough. Time plus a disciplined mind. That was the true formula of success. The spirit showed him visions again. One Jimmy lost in addiction to laziness, jealousy, and comparison. Another Jimmy who woke up early, practiced gratitude, worked on his craft daily, and built discipline one step at a time. The difference was terrifying. One life was misery, the other was greatness. Jimmy whispered, so small habits can change my destiny. The spirit nodded. Yes, your future is hidden inside your daily routine. Change your mornings, and you change your life. Master your mind, and you master your destiny. From then on, Jimmy used both lessons. He guarded his hours like gold, and he trained his mind like a warrior. He replaced comparison with gratitude, excuses with effort, and fear with faith. Slowly, his life transformed. People came from villages far away to listen to his wisdom. Children called him grandfather of time, and he would smile and tell them, I was once like you, careless, lazy, lost. But the spirit of time taught me, time is your life, and your mind is your master. If you lose either, you lose everything. The final lesson. Years later, as Jimmy grew old, he wrote one final line in his diary. The most painful life is the one filled with sorry. The most powerful life is the one filled with discipline. Moral of both stories, powerful ending. Time is life's greatest treasure, but time without discipline is wasted, and discipline without control of the mind is fragile. If you master your hours and master your thoughts, you can build a destiny beyond imagination. But if you waste them, one day you will sit alone, whispering the words that crush the human soul. My whole life. I'm sorry. So respect your hours. Train your mind, because greatness is not built in one day. It is built in every single moment you use wisely.